So it's Friday morning. I've recently woken up and I decided to check Tumblr to see what happened in the most recent Supernatural episode because last week was last week. Video linked below. But I came across something I just couldn't pass up. So the first part of the post was someone informing us, I'll read it to you. In case you are wondering, as of November 10th, which is just 5 days after the previous episode, you have to go to page 54 of the Supernatural tag on AO3 until you see fics that were published before November 5th. Not surprised whatsoever. Impressed, but not surprised. And then the post below that, same post, reblogged to add. Someone has written one where Dean owns the Four Seasons Total Landscaping and Castiel works at the sex shop. Impressed but not surprised. And then it was reblogged again to add that it's actually the other way around. Dean works at the sex shop and Cass works at Four Seasons Total Landscaping. And even though Cass likes nature, but I still feel like it might be the other way around. But so I decided to read it, and I was like, maybe with characterization, yeah, you can get me to believe that that's who works at which shop. So I read the first two sentences, and I was like, no, this needs to be captured on film. And plus, it's only like 754 words, I think was the count. And so I'm charging my laptop. It'll take a few minutes. It's not that long, so I'm going to read it out loud to you, and we'll share this experience together. I have all that I've read so far are the first two sentences. Okay, so my laptop is only at 19%, but I figure that'll work with the fanfic that's only like 700 words. I did reach out to the author, and I do have their permission to post this. It is also linked below, so enjoy it for yourself. I'm so excited. Here we go. Okay. This is going to be good. All right. It begins. Nobody visits an adult toy store at 10 in the morning, so Fantasyland wasn't technically open, but Dean liked to do most of his chores before they opened, when he could listen to music and not worry about customers. He was there unpacking inventory. When he heard the commotion start. Okay, so we're already in process here. All right, this is where I've read up to. Puzzled, he poked his head out of the door and looked over to Four Seasons Total Landscaping, where a small group of young, important-looking people in suits were milling around. Some of them seemed to be unpacking equipment into the loading bay, and one of them was taping blue and red signs to the metal door between the fire extinguisher and the yellow hose. Detail. Dean hesitated only a moment, trying to figure out how he was going to explain this one to the stoic owner of the place. I'm sorry, the sex toy shop owner is stoic. Okay, this is characterization I wasn't expecting. Where was I? Okay. Of course, he had Cass's number. Oh, Cass. He's talking about Cass. Okay. Cass is stoic, yes. Of course he had Cass's number for business purposes. And also so he could flirt like hell with the oblivious man. So he dialed the number, waited for a moment before the low, gravelly, "Hello, Dean," fell to his ear. Hello, Dean. So many nice touches already. Yeah, hey Cass, sorry to bother you, but aren't you guys closed on the weekends? Is that even true? I mean, there was a slight lull, a muffled conversation on the other end of the line, and when Cass's voice returned, he sounded puzzled. Yes, we've always been closed on the weekends. Why? Dean hesitated, taking another look out the door. Well, there's a bunch of suits here in your loading dock. I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like they're setting up sound equipment or something. Oh, Cass replied, and Dean heard the distinct sound of a car door slam on the other end of the line. They've started already? I'm on my way over with beer. I'll explain when I get there. He hung up, and Dean, more confused than ever, gave up on his inventory work, to watch the strange events unfolding, as were we all. Okay. A few minutes later, Cass's car pulled up, and the man hopped out, grinning wider than Dean had ever seen. That is kind of unusual for Cass. To Dean's surprise, he ignored his own business completely and walked straight up to Dean's shop, raising a case of beer in salute. "I hope you don't mind me interrupting your work," he said, "but I think you'll enjoy this." I think we all will. Whew. Dean frowned slightly. "You're going to have to fill me in, man. I have no idea what's happening here." Honestly, no one else did either. Okay. To his surprise, a little smirk started forming in the corner of Cass's mouth. "You're never going to guess who I got a call from this morning." Couldn't have guessed. Dean sat in stunned silence for a moment after Cass's explanation, trying to work it all out in his brain. "So, the Trump campaign called you and asked to host a press conference in your loading dock. Do they know it was a landscaping business?" This is so good. "I don't think so," Cass answered. "I believe they wanted to book the Four Seasons Hotel, but I confirmed the address with them 4 times. "So they asked you to book your place for a press conference," Dean repeated, still turning the idea over in his mind. "And you said yes?" A giddy little laugh escaped the dark-haired man, and he nodded. "I told them it would be an honor," he said, rolling his eyes. "I don't think they'd actually go through with it once they saw it." And yet they did. Dean laughed, shaking his head. "Jesus Christ, Cass, you're a national hero in so many ways. And a genius. You're going to have half the country calling you once they go on air. Put the beers in the fridge. I'm pretty sure I have some chairs in the back somewhere." Oh, they're best buds. Neither of them was quite sure whose idea it had been to start a drinking game. Not a bad idea. But that was how they ended up, far too drunk for 11:30 in the morning, tears streaming down their faces like so many of us, as they watched Rudy Giuliani rant incoherently from a podium set between a fire extinguisher and a yellow hose. Someone in the press pool informed him that all of the networks had just called the race and that Joe Biden would be the next president of the United States, and they both cheered as they watched the deranged man lose his mind over it. And if Dean was shirking his responsibilities to enjoy this moment with Cass, well, he could live with that. And when Cass's phone started ringing off the hook and he silenced it, grabbed Dean by the shirt and yanked him into a dizzying kiss, he supposed he could live with that too. The end. I am so impressed. I enjoyed that so much. I am so glad I shared it in video. That was so much fun. All the thanks in the world to TheSongSmith. I will link, like I said, I'll link this below. I'll link their Twitter. Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting me share this. I was so pleased. Well done.